This could be the most perfect putter on planet Earth. Today we're taking a look at the LAB Golf heel shafted Oz.1, which solves two major hang-ups that folks have had. First of all, getting used to a center shafted putter has been a big issue for folks. It could now be solved with a heel shafted model. And secondly, feel has been an issue for many folks, including myself, who struggle with the feel coming off an aluminum putter. Earlier this year, we got the first steel insert from LAB with the Oz.1, and now we've got a heel shafted model that could really be the perfect solution. We're gonna find out here today as we do a battery of tests, long putts, medium putts, and short putts to find out if this really is the most perfect putter on planet Earth. Let's get to work. All right, here's your closer look at the LAB Oz.1 HS. That stands for heel shafted. Of course, that's the major breakthrough on this particular LAB putter. Now, some of the breakthroughs that we've seen with other LAB putters are the weights here. These are very specifically matched to my lie angle balance, and once you've got these weights properly fixed for you, never want to adjust these. You can see the face here is beautifully milled in steel. We first saw this with the original Oz.1, and we're getting it here with the Oz.1 HS. Now, as you can see, the heel shafted putter is coming out of the heel, but if we look straight down at it, you can see the center of gravity is going to disappear there into the middle of this putter. So what they've done is angled that shaft back in order to give you the heel shafted look, but still maintain the integrity of the center weighted design. Very well done. We saw this originally, PXG did this in their line of zero torque putters. We're seeing it here from LAB for the first time. Now the profile of this is actually built on a supercar. It's a very interesting design. Adam Scott collabed with LAB on this Oz.1 design, but what makes this one a little different too than the original Oz.1 is this second step here. We didn't see this three-tiered design on the original. We're getting it here on the heel shafted model. I assume it's again to really properly balance this putter. Being in the heel, it's a little bit different, so they had to make some tweaks to the design, but it's still a really good looking one. I think a very compelling design that a lot of people are going to enjoy. Now I got this pair with the Acra shaft, which is an upgrade, about a $100 upgrade from LAB. It's a much more stable shaft, again, trying to ensure that putts stay online as well as they possibly can. I've also got a press pistol grip on here, which we'll talk about in just a bit, but I think this is a really beautiful package. And today we're going to be using the Star Wars themed Volvic Vivid Softs. Darth's face on one side, a lightsaber as your alignment line, Star Wars on the back. Let's have some fun. All right, so first thing I do with every putter is just want to see if I can develop a little bit of a rapport with it. And to do that, I'm going to hit like a 12 to 15 footer here. We'll see what we get and kind of the vibes I'm getting here from the Oz.1 HS. Now I opted for a T alignment line, which is going to be customizable by you. There's so many options on the LAB website, but I found with my DF3 that T alignment was perfect for me. Now I also opted for a press 2.0 grip here. That 2.0 is 2 degrees. So the shaft is actually coming out of the club at a forward pressed angle. And if you look at the grip here, it's actually offset. So basically that's all to get your hands forward. All right, let's take a putt with this one and just see what it feels like and see if we can dial in the speed. Yeah, I guess I dialed it in there. Feel fantastic. Feels exactly like the Oz.1 original, which is a much more traditional feel for a putter. Again, that aluminum was a little bit of a turnoff, not only for me, but for a lot of people who have tried these zero torques before. Hit that one a little too hard. It's got some pop to it. Absolutely got some pop, but it looks good, and man, does it feel good. Now, we've tried so many of these zero torque putters on the channel, maybe 15 just this year alone. And I would say this is the most quote unquote normal looking putter to my eye. So many of them look alien, but it's getting better and better with each iteration. Even Roll came out with a really nice one this year, as well as PXG. Their second attempt at a zero torque was much more normal looking. But this one, again, with the heel shaft, with that particular shape, and with that feel, is gonna be, I think, the best option for you traditionalists, folks that have struggled getting used to a zero torque design. I really do think this could be the answer. Now it's time to really put it to the test though. So we're gonna go into our long putt test here first. And the goal of the long putt test is to avoid the dreaded 3-putt. We never want that when we're out on the golf course. That kills the scorecard. So we'll see if we can get 2 putts here out of the Oz.1 HS. All right, so I've got about a 40 footer here. We're mostly moving uphill. Again, let's see if we can get the speed control is the main thing here. It's what I've really struggled with LAB putters in the past, was getting the speed right. I think I nailed the speed there. What I didn't nail was the direction. But I know this is gonna swing now much more right to left. And that was pretty well dialed in there on putt 2. Let's give it one more attempt, see if we can keep the consistency. That was the best yet. So 2 of these are pretty much dead. My second 2 putts there. And we'll see if we can convert. We'll see if we can convert this third one. Again, 3 putts going to be the thing we've got to avoid out on the golf course. And we did that at least on the first part of this test. Let's get to a different hole and try it again. All right, long putt test number 2. The first one went swimmingly. We went 3 for 3 on 2 putts. Let's see if we can continue to dial the distance in here. We're gonna give myself an even longer putt, the most challenging putt I possibly can here. We're gonna go out about 65 feet. I hit that putt off the toe of the club face, but what LAB does so well is that you don't lose a lot of distance on off-center contact. I'm very happy about that. Let's see if we can hit one in the middle though. Again, I don't think I necessarily struck that one in the center of the club face, but great result. All right, putt 3 here. All right, that was middle of the club face, and again, great result. So it only gets better the more I'm using this thing. Again, we'll see if we can go 3 for 3. This was the first putt I hit, I think. And this is the one that's furthest. It's about 4.5 feet, let's call it. Oh, I missed it. And these ones are just tapping. So 5 out of 6 on our long putts, very, very good. Let's move to the next test, which is going to be the short putt test. Every test is critical, but you got to have confidence from this distance. We're going to set up 6 balls in a circle here. It's a great drill just to do when you're warming up anyways. But let's see if we can go 6 for 6 here. This green is sloped, so we're going to get all different putts. Some will be breaking right, some will be breaking left, some are going to be down, some are going to be up. All right, this first one's breaking left to right for us. First one is in. This one we're going uphill, fairly straight, I'd say. That's 2 for 2. This one uphill, maybe breaking a little bit right to left. I didn't hit that one so firm as the first 2, but still got to the hole there. I do like this face. It has a little bit more pop on it. Oh! I knew right as I took that club back that I probably didn't give that quite enough break. We're on a pretty severe incline here. This one's downhill right to left. And this one's downhill, hard to say, fairly straight, maybe a little left to right, but fairly straight putt. And there we go. I did not take a very good stroke with that one, but still right on line. So 5 out of 6 there for the short putts. Very good performer. What I love about this face is because it has that pop, you don't have to take a really big stroke. I felt like I had to take a bigger stroke with the DF3. This one I can keep my stroke a little bit more compact, which is going to, again, lessen the ability for this to be either pushed or pulled. Think about Jon Rahm's golf swing. He's got a very compact swing and he's a very accurate player because of that. The more swing you've got with any club, whether it's a putter or a driver, a few more variables are going to enter in the bigger that swing gets. So it's nice to have a nice compact stroke, and you get that when you get a putter face like this that has a little bit better pop. So really good performer, I think, from the short putt test. If you read them well, I think you're gonna make putts here from a short distance with the Oz.1 HS. All right, if you're enjoying this video so far, do me a favor. This video will get so much more exposure if you hit the hype button, and a lot of people need to see this putter because this one is really special. So hit that hype button for me, and let's move on to the next test. All right, time for a critical test, which is the medium putt test, a place that a lot of these zero torque putters have really excelled, especially the LABs, because getting the line right is so critical, and these keep the putter on line better. Now, if we take a look at this chart, you'll see that the pros make an 8-footer 50% of the time, whereas us amateurs are anywhere from 25% to about 33% make probability. That means if we can make more putts from 8 feet, we're probably gonna drop our handicap 2 or 3 points better. And I think a lot of people who have tried zero torque putters have had that result. If that's you, by the way, leave me a comment down below. But that's exactly what I'm gonna test right here. We're gonna set up 3 stations from 8 feet and see what our make percentage is. All right, first one here. We're heading downhill, a little right to left. I love being able to align this putt with my lightsaber. Now the pros get the benefit of a second set of eyes. That's why I always do 2 from each station, by the way. They have a caddy that's helping them read the putt, whereas it's just me out here right now. Oh, just hit the edge. So I know I've got to take a little speed off, or I've got to give it a little bit more break. But now that we know the line, let's see if we can make the putt. No, didn't give it enough speed. All right, let's move on to station number 2 here. Still, I believe this one should be heading a little right to left for us, and it may be even a faster putt. There we go, first time, that's nice. And now that we know the line for sure, and the speed, let's see if we can repeat that. No, I gave it too much there. All right, so 1 out of 2 there in station 2. Overall, we're only 1 out of 4, which isn't fantastic, to be honest, but probably has more so to do with the guy stroking the putts, because I'm hitting the lines I want to hit. This one is now heading uphill and should be going left to right for us. Again, first try. That's real nice. And again, knowing the line, can we do it and stay consistent with this putter? Oh, that one seemed to break just a little bit more. So 2 out of 6 there. I think this putter's got more in the tank. We're gonna go to green number 2 here and try it again. Test number 2 here on our medium putts. The first test, interestingly enough, I actually nailed 2 of those straight away. And if you've watched these videos, a lot of times it's the second putt that goes in, but this time the second putt didn't go in. So we'll see how we do here on test 2. Again, setting up 3 stations, and we wanna have different looks here at the hole. All right, to my eye, this is a fairly straight putt actually. If anything, it may just go a little left to right. It does go left to right. I hit it pretty straight, and this time I'm gonna adjust my line just a touch. And that one didn't break. Wow, sometimes you get a putt like that where you're kind of on a spine and you hit it one direction, it breaks one way, the other direction doesn't go that way. That's what I just got. All right, here we go. Station 2. Okay, so let's see, it's gonna be a straighter putt than I thought this time. And the second one drops for us. We have to get this ball out of the way for station 3. That's 1. Now, can we do what we didn't do on test 1? Can we hit 2 in a row from a station? No, continue to make that mistake. All in all, honestly, not my best results from a medium putt test. But here's what I'll say. I feel like I hit the line I wanted to hit. The putter put it on line, it's just I did not read the breaks very well, and I was not so consistent there. Now that all the tests are complete, I think it's time to wrap this one up. All right, final thoughts here on the Oz.1 HS. This is an absolutely fantastic putter, and I do feel this is as close to perfection as we have seen to date. Folks are going to love that hot face. I loved it again on those short putts. Folks are gonna love that milled steel feel, especially on those long putts, as you saw. Very easy to dial this one in. The only place it struggled for me was on the medium putts. That was surprising because so many zero torque putters have really excelled in that department. I do think I was hitting the lines. I think the greens maybe were a little bit of a hindrance today because we got a couple putts that on the same line seemed to break different ways, but either way, I feel very, very confident with the Oz.1 HS in my hands. I loved it. I think this is probably going to live in my bag for a little while. If you've seen my putting lately, you know I need all the help I can get, and I do think this one could be the one, at least for me. If you are in a big box store and they carry LAB, give this one a roll. I think it is well worth it. But if you do decide to buy a LAB, what makes LAB for me is the fact that you can customize it like I've done here today with this one. Not only is it going to be weighted for you, it's also going to be lie angle balanced for you. It's really the only company that does it to that degree. It's the OG for a reason. They've done a fantastic job here with this one. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the subscribe button, leave me a comment, let me know what you think of the Oz.1 HS, and we'll catch you next time on another edition of Let's Play Through.